Hey there, Timmy.
Hi!
Do you own sport bikes like a Yamaha R6 or a Ducati Street Fighter?
Uh-huh.
And do you like to ride off-road and wear armor like this?
Uh-huh.
But do you only have these two motorcycles and not enough money to buy another one?
Uh-huh.
Well, you can't do it.
Aww.
Now go get a job, you lazy piece of crap, and get some money so you can buy another motorcycle rather than wasting people's time with stupid projects.
Hey guys, how's that intro? Had some fun with that. Hopefully it turned out well. Welcome to Make It and Break It. My name's Andrew, and today we're going to be getting our Yamaha R6 Super Sport bike ready to go into the dirt. So despite what I may have said in the intro, you actually don't need a whole nother bike to go off-road if you're willing to put in a little bit of effort and change some things around, and as long as you're not trying to go do whoops at 60 miles an hour, you can actually have a good deal of fun with maybe not the most ideal bike off-road. Because when it comes down to it, I've ridden many miles on dirt roads with these bikes as they sit. It's not like you go onto a dirt road and then you immediately die with these bikes. But they're not what I would consider, real dual sports, right? So they don't really handle off-road particularly well, mostly because of their tires. And they're, well, in this one at least, has a distinct lack of ground clearance, which means it will bottom out in kind of any real serious off-roading if you have to do any sort of hill climb up a rocky hill or something like that. But if you want to, you can actually take something like this R6, do some very minor modifications, and you'll have something that can negotiate some trails if you're a little bit brave and not worried about, wrecking a super nice bike. Handy thing is, old super sports like this and Ninjas and that sort of stuff are actually relatively cheap, and they're usually cheaper than going out and getting your bog entry dual sport, your KLR 650s, your DR 650s, your DRZ 400s, that sort of stuff. Those bikes are $4,000 if you can find them in decent condition. These guys, you can go find them for $1,500, two grand. So if you're willing to put in a little bit of work and do some modifications, you can get this thing off-road. Towards that end, we're gonna be going in less than 2 weeks' time. I'm gonna be wearing some of these and riding on a beach and riding off-road, hopefully on the R6. So we've gotta go get this done. And to do that, we have just a couple of parts, and we're going to use the rest of the stuff that's already on the bike to try and make it as good as possible off-roading. And then we'll see how she goes. So these are most of the new parts that we're going to put on this bike to take her off-road. This is a Fender Eliminator setup. So most sport bikes probably already have this on here, but I haven't. I've kept this thing basically stock the entire time. So a Fender Eliminator goes in and gets rid of the ugly tail section on the R6. So most sport bikes have this ugly tail section that they mount the license plate to, and you mount the some of the turn signals to and everything. And that sticks down pretty far from the back of the tail, and that'll cut down on some of your wheel travel if you manage to hit a bump pretty hard. So one of the first things you want to do if you haven't done it, and to be fair, if you're buying a used sport bike, this has probably already been done. You want to put some sort of tail tidy segment on it. This is a Puig, I don't know. This is a Puig for the 99 to 02s, R6s, and it's literally just a bracket that bolts in there and holds the license plate and some of your turn signals. So it'll suck everything up closer to the back of the tail section. These are some new turn signals that you don't absolutely need to upgrade it, but I'll show you why you might want to consider it. So if you're looking down the side of the motorcycle here, so right, you see this is the side of the motorcycle, and we're gonna look down pretty much straight down.
What sticks out the most? Well, it's that turn signal, that exhaust, and that turn signal. So, if this were to ever hit the ground, oftentimes what you do is you hit a turn signal or something on the bar end up here, and those will break off, which is really not handy for a dual sport that'll be going off-road and on-road pretty often. So, you don't need to do this, but I got a couple sets of these kind of click in, click out. They're called click and ride, and they're turn signals that have little sockets. And so you can, when you get to a trail that you're not going to need your turn signals for, you just pull them out, set them in your tank bag or somewhere, and then you're not worried about crashing on them. And then when you get back to the road and you want your turn signals again, you put them back in, and they're good to go. So I got two sets, one for the back, one for the front, that we're going to try and throw in today. Finally, they're not here because they're waiting at the store to get mounted. I have tires. So new tires. Look, yes, you could ride in the dirt in something like this. In fact, I think Jamie Robinson at MotoGeo does that all the time. I don't want to. And it really does limit some of the surfaces you can reasonably control your bike on if you're not like a former Isle of Man TT racer or, you know, British Superbike racer. So you want to get some new tires. So what's on this thing currently are a set of Pirelli Pilot Power 2 CTs, which are like a sport bike tire. And they're not great off-road. I've done some gravel roads on them, and it's fine, but you don't really want to do it if you don't have to. I've got a set of TKC 80s. They're Continentals. They're pretty much like the measuring stick for all off-road tires. I've got those ordered, and they're in, but we got to go get them put on. So first thing to do today is go get the tires put on, and then we'll start doing all the rest of the pieces here. Okay, so that took way too long, and I am just dirty as all hell. I had to wash my hands because we're making food right now. Wheels are off. See? Wheels. Wheels are off. And they're off to get mounted. So while those are off, we're going to try and finish everything else. And we'll see if they come back in time to show in this video. Otherwise, first time you'll see wheels mounted will be when we ride this thing out for our first event. So, next thing to do right now, because we have to go take it off anyway, is we're going to go with the rear tail section. So, this is the really ugly rear tail section here. You can see how the thing just kind of sticks down. These things just stick out so much. It's really annoying. So, we're going to get rid of that and replace it with a single bracket. We'll put that up here. You can see the relative size difference. This one will sit right up here and give us a lot more clearance and make the tail look a lot better. And it's something we can transfer when we remake this rear end for version 2. Stuff's falling in the background. So first thing we got to do is pop the back seat in here. And inside you'll see a bunch of wires and stuff. This is some old registration material that I don't need anymore. This is kind of all the tail light section wires coming from the main loom, which is kind of under your rider's seat over here. But what really only matters to us right now is these 4 bolts, because that's what I think our bracket mounts to. I say I think because let me show you guys the instructions real quick. This is the entirety of the instructions sent by Puig, I don't know. And they are in French first. I believe that's French. I don't speak French, so if it's not French, I'm sorry. And then they are in English second. And it essentially says, let's see if we can get this in here. Remove the original support and then mount it with the supplied hardware. And that's it. That's what we got. So I think this one's going to be an easy dropout where we just drop these. And then we'll just have to pull some lights and these side lights here, and we'll have to rewire those with our new lights once we have the new thing mounted. So let's see if that works. So we got the bolts out.
Dropped a washer I'm gonna have to go find at some point here. But bolts are out, and now the thing is hanging by the electrical connections, which it's not super heavy, so I'm not worried about right at this moment. But we do want to fix that, because we're gonna want those electrical connectors to work for our new lights, and we got to take the license plate light out of here as well. So we're gonna try and harvest those real quick, see what we can do to free the lights and all that. Looks like we got a split in here. I may cut this thing apart, because who wants this anyway? Okay, so this last little bit here, we want to keep this light, because this light works good, and I can make a new mount for it, or just glue it up to the bottom of the fender here or something. But it's kind of snaked in here, and I don't really have a good way to get it out right now. So I'm just going to cut it out. So I got my rotary tool over there, my little Dremel, I'm going to cut it out with. And then, as you can see, we already pulled the tail lights, so green for right, brown for left. So we can rewire our new lights once we're ready to do that. So let's get this cut out real quick. I have some gloves on right now. I'm going to go put some safety glasses on so I don't get something in my newly laser repaired eyes. So let's go do that then. I don't know if you guys can see here or not, but I did nick a couple of these wires. So I'm going to go cover these with electrical tape here. I did check, the light does turn on, so the light's still good, but I'm going to cover it up so we don't get any oxidation or weird grounding issues or stuff like that. Ooh, I look dirty. We've got the tail section off finally. Had to cut it off a little bit. Let's show you that here. So I can see here, you can see we had to chop up this thing pretty good to get out our license plate LED light, or license plate light. So this is probably going to go up on the wall for a bit behind the couch. You can see we have some cleanup to do. But our tail section is now clean, and we can see the kind of lights we need to keep. So here's our... this thing right here. Focus! Focus! There we go. This is our license plate light. We had to keep it intact. We didn't have to. I could have cut it and then redone it again, but I might as well keep it intact if we can. We did nick it in a couple places with our cutoff wheel. So I did check, and the light does still work. So I just re-electrical taped around the sections. Green is right. So these are our turn signals. Our new turn signals mount completely differently. So we just cut the light off, and light that was on there, and we'll go mount those. But right now we're going to put the license plate mount on, and we'll get to getting everything else where it should be. Alright guys, we got everything on. I, off camera, did a little bit of adjusting to what was our license plate housing, our license plate light housing. So it mostly fits in place. I'm just going to go take some measurements here and maybe 3D print a bracket that'll hold it in relatively well off the back of this thing. So we're going to go do that tonight, and I'll Hopefully show it to you tomorrow if I get a chance. Otherwise, it'll be whenever it goes on. But it's getting late. I got to edit this video and some other videos to put up on the channel. So we're going to call it here. So what have we done today? We pulled our wheels, and those are at the shop getting new tires on. I brought them in late, so hopefully we'll get tires on by tomorrow. We have pulled the tail tidy section out here and installed our new tail tidy, including getting ready for our new turn signal lights here and here. We have to have another part. I forgot that LEDs need a resistor, so that's my bad. What do we have left? We have to put the turn signals in. That's both front and rear. That'll probably be whenever those parts come in. So that'll be another video. We've got to do the adjustments on the bike to make it a little bit better and get ourselves a little bit more clearance and hopefully get our ride more off-road suitable. And once we get the wheels back and on and we do our adjustments, that'll be it for phase 1 of the HyperTenere project. Then we'll get into the bigger adjustments on phase 2, where we remake much of the rear end and a lot of the protection package. So thanks for watching, everybody. My name's Andrew. This is the Make It and Break It YouTube channel. If you like this video, hit like. If you like what we're doing on this channel, we have this HyperTenere project. We're also doing projects with the 300C. It's Project Ute. We're making a Ute out of it, so I can take this baby to the this one to the trails. We also have an RX-8 race car build, so Seat Time RX-8. So if any of that sounds interesting, definitely watch them. Hit subscribe, hit that little bell icon thing, and come on back, because we really like it when you watch it. Thanks for watching, everybody. My name's Andrew. This has been a Make It and Break It HyperTenere project video, and you know, we struggled a little bit today. But we finally got some things done, and it's all kind of thanks to our motto here, which is, even when things get hard, don't make it hard yourself. Just make it up. We'll catch you guys later. And that, kids, is why you wear safety glasses.